it's Ahme and Katie here at Pilates in East, and we would love to see your smiling faces and bright eyes at the studio soon, but in the meantime, we'd love to join you at home with a creative reformer class. So let's get started by taking all of the springs off. So I'm going to use the reformer in a few creative ways today, you'll see, because we're actually going to climb right into the well. Now for this to work, you will need a mat underneath your reformer so it doesn't hurt your knees. And the other prop we'll use is some kind of something to hold in your hand. So it could be a dowel, or we're going to use the fitness circle just for later in class. Then place your elbows on the carriage. Walk yourself back so your hips are fairly close to this back edge so you have room. And the first move looks like a cat-cow. So you reach your arms out, lift your tail to the sky, drop your chest, and stretch, just like your puppy dog stretches when it gets up from a nap. And then tuck your tail, scoop your abs, and pull the carriage in, rounding your back. And you're back and forth between those two, reaching and extending, and then tuck and scoop and round to pull it back in. Now during our warm-up, this is your opportunity to get your body moving, start to deepen and lengthen the breath, and feel nice stretches. You can linger in any of the stretch spots that feels particularly good. Maybe take an extra breath and draw that all the way in. Now come to what would look like a hands and knees. So the elbows are right under your shoulders, your back's pretty neutral. We'll pick up our right arm and open your chest to the side, so you're creating a twist. Press down through the elbow that's on the carriage, rotate and lift and open the chest, reaching for the sky. Big breath here, big twist, and breathe, and bring it center. Let's do that same thing on the other side. Lift and open the chest, reach down or push into the ground and push it down into the carriage, open the chest, reach for the sky. Big breath here, big twist, and return center. Now cross your hand over. So for example, your left hand would hold the right shoulder rest, and then drop your head down onto your arm. The other hand can prop on the edge of the carriage. Now your sitting bones stay connecting to the surface behind you, the wood platform here, and you can push with the arm to create a stretch. You'll notice a stretch down the long side of the body, breathing into that stretching side. And then let's switch on over to the other side. So you grab hold, lay yourself down. You might need to fuss just a little bit to figure this one out. Once you find a nice stretch for you, you've got it. Stay there, hold and breathe. Breathing into that long side of the body. One more breath. And bring it back to center. Now we're going to hop out from inside here and go to a light spring. So I'm going to recommend a yellow spring. You could go to a blue as well. Come to lay on your back. And for now, it's the ball of the foot or the toes, just behind the toes on the bar. Hands tucked behind the back of the head, curl up into a little ab curl. Your eye gaze is just above your knees, and you're taking a few breaths here to set your core. So big inhale expands your back, and exhale hugs the abdominal wall in. Inhale, expanding into the back. Exhale, hugging in through the abs. Once you feel like you've made that connection to the core, with the lightest touch of your feet, you're going to slide the carriage all the way out and slide the carriage all the way in. Try to relax your toes and your feet here. So you're not gripping the bar with your feet. You're using the power of your core to control the carriage in and out. Now we're going to try what's called a roll through here. So we'll slide the carriage out. Now reach your heels under the bar. Trying to keep your heels reaching under the bar, bend your knees to draw the carriage in. Now rise up onto your toes and slide the carriage out. Reach your heels under the bar, keeping the heels reaching under the bar as you bend your knees to draw the carriage in. It's harder than it looks. Keeping the lightest touch on that bar. Now let's reverse it. Slide out with your heels reaching under the bar, then rise to your toes and come in with your heels lifted. Reach your heels under the bar. Slide out, rise up, and draw the carriage in. Reach the heels under the bar. Slide out, come on up, draw it in. Last time, work with your breath, nice strong core. Slide it out, lift, and draw it all the way in. Lower your head for a little break. That whole series you could do with your head down as well, so long you're motivating your core to be active throughout. Hands behind, curl it up, little ab curl. Slide the carriage out to a long leg this time and hold. Set any part of your foot on the bar that allows you to relax your feet, so you're not creating a gripping with the bottom of the foot. Focus instead on your powerhouse, hugging in and keeping your legs very light and free. We're going to float the right leg into the air. Set it down softly on the bar. Float the left leg in the air. Set it softly on the bar. Float and set it down. Float and set it down. Now add a little ab curl to try to meet that leg as it floats up. Add that little ab curl as it meets. Curl it up. Yes, now we'll hold one leg floated in the air. Bring the hands forward to hold onto the leg. Use your arms to pull yourself up into that thigh a little higher. Reach the leg a little longer. Now holding yourself here, release your hands long and little pulses reaching here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands behind the head, leg lowers. If you need a break, take it. Otherwise, go straight into the other side. Lifting the left leg, hands come forward. Pull yourself up a little higher. Reach the leg a little longer. Release the hands, a little pulses right here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step down. I'm feeling the core. Okay, one more here before we move on. Curl it up, slide the carriage out, right leg floats in the air. This time we're focusing on keeping the pelvis level and stable. So as my leg opens to the side, I don't let my hips lean to the side. Draw a circle with the leg, bringing a little bit across the midline, and then back up. Open to the side. Draw that circle. I recommend you start with a smaller circle initially, and you can venture into a bigger circle as you feel like you have more and more core control. Take a peek at your hip bones, these bones here on the front of the pelvis, and make sure that they're staying level and stable. One more time around. And then setting that leg down, set yourself nice and strong. Lift the other leg into the air. Steady hips as you open to the side. And bring it center. Watching to keep both hips very level. Now take it to the side and draw the circle a little bit across the midline. To the side, that circle across the midline. Nice and strong. Start small with your circle. If you're feeling clicking or any discomfort in the hip, try doing this one with a bent knee instead. And one more circle. And set that leg on down. Bend the knees and return the carriage. Let's come on up. We're going to do some back strength work now with the box in the long box position. We can keep the yellow, so I'd say the single yellow or single blue on this one. Placing the box in the long box position, always in front of the shoulder rests, and then right down on your chest on the box. The upper half of your chest is off the top. It's a nice simple swan here. Slide your arms out to long, legs reaching long and strong. And now lifting and lowering your chest to create a back extension. Start to work into your back. Keep the energy going through the legs. You're really reaching long through the legs. You should feel tone in your seat and tone of the low abs hugged in. Each time you go ahead and lift your chest up, want a little less help from the arms and a little more work in the back muscles. Eventually, we should get to the point where it's about 90% back muscles and only about 10% arms. So this one's not so much an arm exercise as it's a back exercise. So that's the focus. 2 more here. Lifting, strengthening your back and lower. Legs reaching long and strong. And bend the elbows, return the carriage. Now, like I said, we're going to be a little creative here. We're actually going to try one with no spring. You have to be a little careful managing your carriage when it's a free agent with no spring. It starts the same way. Arms are long, legs are long, abs hugged in. Lifting and lowering the chest. Focusing more on your back and less on your arms. Same thing here, 90% effort in your back. Only 10 or less effort of the arms. The arms are very light and easy. Now lift your chest to a height you think you could sustain even if your hands were not on the bar. Be a little bit ambitious, maybe come up just a tiny bit more. Now reach your legs long and lift your legs so your thighs feel lighter on the box. Holding your chest lifted, holding your thighs lifted, float one hand off the bar, and the opposite or diagonal leg reaches long and lifts. Lower, and reach the other pair. Lower, and left. Lower, and left. Reaching long through the leg, keeping the hand that rests on the bar as light as possible. For 4. And 4, 3, and 3, 2, and 2, 1 more each side, strengthening the back of the body and lowering on down. Slide the carriage all the way home, placing 1 or 2 springs on just to secure the carriage for now, and step to the side. If you need a nice little back stretch there, you can do a nice little round back stretch or any other stretch that you like. Short box abs. We're going to turn the box to its short box position. This one you could put the box over the shoulder rests. Now all of the springs go on and the bar is going to drop down out of the way. This is where we might pick up our prop now, that fitness circle, and hold it in our hands. Hook your feet. Give yourself a little bit of space behind you, not a lot. Hold that circle out in front. Now we're scooping into your low abs. Think of curling your tail forward, scooping through the low belly, rolling back in the pelvis, roll all the way back, come to hang out of that strap. Pause here a second to take inventory. Low abs pulling in. Legs are fairly relaxed other than keeping track of that strap. Low abs are really feeling strong, but your shoulders are pretty easy. Float that circle on up and ease it back down. Float on up and ease on down. Float it up and ease it down. One more time. And sit ourselves all the way to tall. Quick little break. Adding a rotation now. That same tuck scoop rolls you back. Find your sweet spot where it's challenging for you, but you can keep the work in the front of the body. Now take the circle in one hand, open to the side, eyes follow the circle, and bring it center. Switch to the other side, open to the side, and bring it back to the center. Adding in a twist. Think to yourself to bring your abs with you into that twist. You're not arching the back. You shouldn't feel this a lot in the back. You should feel it in the front and your sides of the body. One more each way. You can challenge yourself by reaching into it a little further. And then sitting ourselves all the way up to tall. One more, face the front here. It's around the world. Tuck, scoop, roll back. Find your sweet spot. Now we take the circle with us as we twist to the left. The circle comes up, we twist to the right, and then it comes down. Repeat. Go low to the left, up and over, high to the right. Low to the left, up and over, high to the right. Two more. Low, up and over, high. Last one. Now you can take a little break and join back in, or you can stay with us and go the other way right away. So we're low to the right now, lift and high to the left. Low, reach and high, nice and dynamic core work here. Two more. Sculpting and toning that midsection. Last one. And bring it center, sitting yourself all the way up. Don't need the circle for this next one. It's to the side now. We're only hooking one foot. Always welcome to place a support hand down on the metal track or the headrest. Or today, you can go straight to hands on the ribs or hands on the head. This is the hardest option, medium, and easiest. I'm going to try my ribs today. Hanging out of that foot, the hips are stacked. You're dipping down and lifting up. Down and up. Two more, working that side waist. Last one. Sit yourself on up, and let's face the front. We'll take a stretch through both sides of the body, reaching up and over, lengthen and breathe. And onto the other side, reaching up and over, lengthen and breathe. Evening ourselves out, let's set up on the other side. Hook the foot, stack your hips. Always welcome to have the hand here as an assist, or ribs or head. You're down and up. Working this sideways. We're toning and strengthening that waist from all the different angles. Good, we got two more. Aha, and the stretch, that lengthen up and over. Take a breath into the side, leaning that waist out. Other side, that breath and reach. Great. We're onto some arms now. So we'll go ahead and put the box away. And come to sitting on the carriage facing the front. Now, traditionally the legs would be long, but you could bend your knees or even try it cross-legged, or if you had a little box or a prop to sit up on, that would help. Because what we'd like to see is that you're sitting really nice and tall. What we would not want to see is kind of a rounded shape like that. Spring weight on this, I'm going to recommend either single blue or single red, and this is for our rowing series. So once we pick our spring and pick our seating position, we'll pick up our loops, and we're going to take those short loops for this one. So sitting really nice and tall, kind of zipped up, nice open chest. We reach the arms forward, rowing one, rotate so your thumbs are down. The thumbs come down to tap the carriage, then you draw a circle with your arms, returning back to the start. So it's a reach out, rotate thumbs down, circle around, back to the start. Reach out, rotate, thumbs down, circle around, back to the start. Reach out, thumbs down, circle around, start. One more like this. Now rowing 2 is very similar, except as you reach out, you dive forward. You keep your arms reaching forward as you restack your spine to tall. Rotate, thumbs down, tap the carriage, circle around, scoop, and dive forward. Keep reaching the arms forward as you restack. Everything else is the same. Thumbs down, circle around, reach, and dive it forward. Restack. Thumbs down, circle around, reach, and dive it forward. Restack. Thumbs down, circle around. One more time, reach, scoop, and dive that forward. Restack the spine. Thumbs down, circle around to the start. Now we're doing our rowing back today as well. Same spring recommendation, either the single blue or the single red. You turn around. You could do this one with the knees a little bent if you like, or long. Make sure you've got one hand's width of space behind you. More space or less is not useful. So you don't want a whole lot more or less than that. Now, this is the round back, hands to sternum. Your elbows are out. Tuck your tail, scoop your abs, roll yourself back. Now pause here a second. You rotate so your fingers point down, then open your arms to the side. Push the arms back as your head dives forward. Arms reach forward. Gather up your loops. Restack back to the start. Roll yourself back. Fingers down as you open out. Push back, dive forward. Arms forward. Gather up the loops and restack. Roll it back. Open out. Push back as you dive forward. Arms forward. Gather to the start. One more time. Roll it back. Rotate as the arms open. Push back to dive and reach and all the way to tall. Now the flat back starts with the elbows up like so. Leaning back with a flat back. Reach the arms up. Dive forward. Arms go to the back. Now stay here a second. Bend your elbows to tap your low back with your fingers. Straighten your elbows and really reach into the ropes. Now the arms come forward. Gather back up to the start. Flat back. Reach and dive forward. Arms to the back. Bend, straighten the elbows. Arms to the front. Gather back to the start. Flat back. Reach and dive forward. Arms to the back. Bend, straighten the elbows. Arms to the front. Gather back to the start. Let's try it one more time. Leaning back. Reach and dive forward. Arms to the back. Bend, straighten the elbows. Arms to the front. Gather back to the start. Really nice full upper body workout. Getting all the different angles. Now on to legs. And this section is going to bring a little heat and be our final series of the class. You're going to take your box and place it beside your reformer. We can pull this bar back up to the top. You won't really be using it, but it might be nice if you needed to grab hold of it if you lost your balance a little bit. We're going to step onto the box and then go to one red spring. And you could try a little lighter or a little heavier over time to figure out your spring. The outside foot's on the box right near the carriage edge, and then the inside foot tucks up onto the shoulder rest. We're going to slide the carriage out and hinge forward. Notice how this knee is over that ankle, and then come back to tall in the torso as we come in. So it's a lunge, but this front knee bends and straightens, but it stays over the ankle the whole time. Now we can add arms to this, reaching the arms up to the ears and drawing them down to the hips. Reach up into the ears, Draw down to the hips. 4 more here. Now pause at the bottom, hold it there, back knee bends, and reach. For 4. Easy does it. Stand yourself all the way up. Now we're stepping one foot onto the standing platform, the wood, and then the other foot onto the carriage. I like to use the edge of the carriage, but whatever you use, make sure that foot is secure. Come down into a little mini squat, and now you're pressing the carriage out, controlling the return. Arms can stay on the hips, or you can do like a speed skater, arm to match the legs. Let's do 4 more. Easy does it. Bring it home. Stand on up. Use your box to step off, and let's take a walk around to the other side and balance ourselves out. Tuck that box up really nice and close to the edge of the reformer. You can step on and then set yourself up. Take your time, the first few you do here, just to set up. Make sure again that knee over the ankle. Your torso will come up and look forward as you come up, and then hinge forward to go down as you go down. So you're up and then down. Notice that back leg doesn't really change shape. Adding the arms, reach the arms up to the ears and draw them down to the hips. And let's go for 4 and 3 and 2. Now we'll stay down on 1. Hold it here. That back knee now bends and reach. Bend and reach. Bend and reach. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Come on home. And speed skater, step the foot on the wood, edge of the carriage, come down low, slide the carriage out, control its return. And the arms can go. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice heat for the legs. Use the box to step yourself down. Finishing up today with some nice stretches with feet in straps. We can put our box away. Pick your springs for feet in straps. I like 2 red. Pick up your loops. You want to step your feet into the loops with some nice control. So I press out, step 1, step the other. Starting with a few easy frogs in and out. And then go into some nice big, slow, stretchy circles. Feel free to linger at any stretches you find along the way. Let's try a butterfly stretch. So that's where you put the soles of your feet together and your knees apart. You can reach and help draw the feet in towards you, or press your hands on your knees to open them out. We're releasing here, easing into the stretch, letting go, deepening and lengthening the breath. Now hands reach and grab the soles of the feet. Think of pointing your feet towards the ceiling and your knees hug into your armpit area. It's like a happy baby pose from yoga. Breathe and release here. And knees on out. We'll keep one loop on the foot. The other loop can come off. Now that foot for now can just go down and find the bar. Extend this leg long and find a stretch for the back of the leg. Now I'm going to keep this loop and I'm going to hold it so I can kind of control how much pressure I have or don't have, and then drop the other leg down into the space where the springs live, creating a stretch through the front of the hip and the front of the thigh. So I get a 2-for-1 here. I have a nice stretch in the back of the leg for this one, in the front of the hip and front of the thigh on that one. And I have a little bit of control right here. One more breath with this nice stretch. And then come on up. Now we got to switch it all around. I'll rehook this foot. Take that loop, that leg goes up, and this leg drops into the space where the springs live. Nice, easy stretch up the back of the leg. Think of the front of the hip opening, front of the thigh dropping down. Easy does it. Breathe and yield. And careful with your stretches. You don't want to overdo it. Part of the purpose and magic of the reformer is it helps support you in a really beneficial stretching spot. And you'll feel the stretch, but you shouldn't feel like it's way beyond what you can relax into. So you should find a stretching spot where you actually can kind of settle and ease into it and enjoy it. One more breath. And ease yourself on out. We'll store the loops. Come on up to sitting. And just sit on the edge of the carriage here. Sit nice and tall. Arms float out to the side. Let's take a twist. Set the arms down. Rest your arms. Rest your shoulders. Take a few breaths here as you gently rotate to the side. Think of growing the spine tall through the crown of the head. Arms lift through the center to the other side. Set it down. Grow tall. Easy through the shoulders. Envision the top of the head floating up into the sky, lengthening out the spine. And we'll return to the center for a moment here, just letting the arms rest down. I find a levelness through my sitting bones, nice neutral pelvis. And walking my minds up through the spine, one segment at a time, I see the spine feeling a little lighter. Not through effort, so it's an effortless feeling. The chest is open, the shoulders relaxed, and the head just finds that spot where it balances on the spine. And together we'll take a deep breath in, inhale. Exhale that sigh of satisfaction. Now you can go float through your day with a happy, strong body, and we'll see you next time. Bye.